Round of 16, Group B. Maru, Solar, sOs, Dream. 2021 GSL Season 3, Codex. At Rika TV, Free Cup Studio Live. 2021 GSL Season 3.
Welcome back, everybody. GSL Codex Group B continues on now. We're in the elimination phase of the tournament. sOs versus Solar is coming up. We've got a PVZ on our hands.
Yeah, this should be really, really interesting because Solar, of course, a very brainy player. I'm sure he studied what sOs likes to do, and sOs right now, he likes Sky Toss. He likes going to the end game, and honestly, I think he plays it better than every other Protoss in Korea right now. His match in Code A was magnificent. He did just a fantastic job of controlling the expansions, having half the map be his, keeping pressure on, and keeping a ridiculously high level of cost efficiency. So, I mean, the thing is, he's sOs. He might play completely different. Who knows? Maybe he does, like, Disruptor drop into Colossus timing now because Solar thinks he's going to go Sky Toss. I don't know, but I'm excited to find out.
All right, we're going to go to Oblivion for map 1. Let's do this.
GSL Season 3, Codex. Team Envy, sOs. Kaizi Gaming, Solar.
So immediately, a probe was sent down to block the hatch, and Solar's going to just, you know, shift his expansion over one spot to the right and take the third as the second.
And, of course, by the way, this is Oblivion, which is a map that we have seen very, very, very little. It's been vetoed a lot.
Yeah. So this will be fun to cast and kind of see what sort of game we're going to get on this.
Yeah, last time Solar was here, he lost to a single pylon, so
that's right. Yeah.
Sad moment for him.
That moment partying did a little bit more due diligence than the rest of the pros and said, "Oh, you guys."
The rest of the pros, the map makers, the GSL, all the fans.
Yeah. Just
partying and probably. Maybe only parting knew. Because the thing is, once you find that,
you say very tight-lipped about it.
You literally don't even need to show anyone. Like, as soon as you make the pylon and they can't get out, you win.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no way someone of his level would lose that. But anyways, I think that's funny. But that's been fixed, of course. But honestly, Oblivion has just been, it's been vetoed so many times that I feel like I just don't have a good feel for how this map plays out yet, you know?
Yeah, we need to have some more games, more casts of it to really get an idea of what we should be expecting here.
Yeah. It's a beautiful map, though. I like half and half maps. I don't know what it is about it, but I like the
aesthetic. You like the way it looks.
Yeah, and it keeps it fresh too if you're playing it a lot. I feel like because it just half the time it looks like something else. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. No, I think it's interesting to see how maps have been developed and, you know, the colors that go with it. And, you know, a funny thing that happened actually in StarCraft 1 was maps with too much snow were not going to be used because it was too hard to see stuff on it.
Yeah, that's right.
Especially pylons warping in on snow.
Actually, when you have snow maps now, it's like almost no snow on them.
Yeah, there's like a few.
The tile set still looks good without the snow.
Yeah, no, it looks fine. But it looks like, you know, a map with mostly melted snow, basically.
Did you see that snipe of the creep tumor?
That was pretty sick.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So sOs gets back out. Now, let's not forget that, you know, sOs basically forced the second hatchery to be where the third is. So sometimes there's some greater plan at play to try to exploit the fact that the two starting hatcheries are far enough apart. They can be hard to reinforce and hard to connect the creep.
Okay, so I like this a lot as well. Gets in here, gets 2 drones, and shades
nicely
out.
Done. Loses 1 adept, but I think it's a totally acceptable trade.
And all this has to do with just the fact that he's able to block that hatchery early on and kind of have that free way up through the natural. By the way, is that the ugliest wall I've ever seen?
Yeah, that is pretty janky, isn't it?
Is that... does that make a wall with a Nexus, actually? Oh my.
No.
It's just the most hideous wall ever.
Well, it looks like an impromptu wall that, like, you've never played on the map and don't know how to wall on it.
Yeah.
And now, what am I even watching here?
You're watching
He's
him
not
lose all of
microing
his
his
probes to
yeah.
4 lings. And also the lings, after running in and killing all these probes, scouting 100% of his tech.
Yeah.
It is...
Glaives is coming, and the obviously the Warp Prism has been spotted. What in the world? So the Roach Warren's coming, Spinecrawler's going to be thrown down here.
A train crashed into a dumpster, which lit it on fire, which then fell downstairs into a rake. That's what this game is right now.
Yeah, this is kind of crazy that happened there. And again, that wall, and it's so weird.
It's the wall's fault.
Yeah, well,
because the stalker didn't make a tight wall.
This is, you know, one of the first things you teach somebody in the game is how to wall, so that you can avoid just like, oh, well, what do I do when he sends, you know, 8 lings at me? You go, oh, no, you have a wall for that, so that's not an issue. Now 4 more lings are going to get in again.
Do you know what, Tasteless? I think that actually occurred here. I think this may have been Veto Chicken, because Veto Chicken is a thing where you're like, no, he'll veto the map, so I don't need to, so you use your vetoes in another way.
I know about this, yeah.
So, because I think actually what you said is exactly right. It looks like a wall where you didn't actually prep for the map. It,
yeah.
Like, just he just like threw the pylon down. He's like, this will be fine.
Everybody who's had a, you know, when the map switched for a new season on the ladder, and you didn't really practice that map, and you go, okay, now I don't know how to wall in. You lose the game, and then you go and sit down and actually map out how to do that, or look up online how to do that. And I feel like this looks like that game.
100%.
Now, these Adepts are coming in here, and again, I mean, this is a real threat. They actually don't manage to kill that other Queen.
Yeah, they should be able to now, though. The Adepts, actually, I mean, they're not doing too badly yet. Oh, that's a lot of lings in the counterattack, man. He is starting to get a bunch of drones. Gonna try to re-wall here. I mean, it's gonna take a little bit for these lings to break through.
I think they can get both of these pylons.
Yeah.
So that's gonna unpower the cybernetics core. Catching these drones on the side is pretty good.
Look at this. He is catching actually a decent amount of drones. He's already killed queens. He's gotten 7 drones. There's a lot of lost mining time here. Like, Solar is not mining very much. His income is like a third or a half as much as SOS throughout this.
Yeah, kind of a funny game. I mean, especially when I saw those lings get in there, I was pretty sure SOS was going to kind of fizzle out in this game. But the Adept harass is still going on, and it doesn't seem like Solar's really dealt with it that well. Again, a lot of these... that was kind of a weird shade there, too. He, like, shaded to the other side of the hill, outside of anywhere where he can do real damage. The Adepts are high enough in numbers, they're starting to just fight the Roaches and win. Oh, this is bad. Boy. Ooh. Yeah, he can actually get the Roach Warren. If you get that, you're going to be fighting just lings, and lings are already pretty bad against Adepts.
Yeah, and his follow-up is actually very, very smart. It looks like he's going to go into Disruptor from here.
Yeah.
So like a Disruptor follow-up, if you have to remake the Warren, right, and just continually make Roaches here, which means that the Disruptor should do a really great job. And obviously the Adepts are going to fight against the lings. Disruptors will get the other hits, and you're pretty good to go. Like, just make a sentry to add in, I guess.
Okay, so these Adepts are going to shade in. Just cancel that.
Oh, it makes a 3rd Nexus here, too. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Look at that wall in, Tasteless.
That is painful to look at.
That is a Vincent Van Gogh wall in.
Yeah, that is such a weird setup he has. He's not committing with these shades. Oh, he is on this one. He can get right back behind here and kill off the Roach Warren again.
Oh, man. Well, more Disruptors are being made. And
oh no, that's so funny.
And oh no, the shade, everything dies. Okay, well, there's not, oh, he still actually has, like, he has made a lot of Adepts this game. He does not have very much at home, I want to say. So there is going to be a counterattack, right? Like 100% there has to be a giant counterattack coming. gets to transfuse them more and he'll lose it twice. I think SOS has to sit back completely defensively. I think we need shield batteries, and he needs like to hit some good shots with his disruptors for when this attack comes. He has no batteries at his third.
Yeah, the third actually could be overtaken. I feel like this is a kind of a weird game of major missteps on both sides. It's making it kind of almost more interesting than a normal PvZ.
Yeah, it's a very blunderous game.
Yeah. There's a lot of pretty dramatic moments here, but I think now that SOS has the disruptors out, I don't think Zerg can really engage here.
Yeah, like as long as he doesn't have the disruptors right in the front there, he should be able to shoot these off pretty easily. Oh, that was a good hit.
Done.
Yeah,
very nicely done.
And just backing up for now. Next disruptor. Oh god.
Oh my god.
Yeah, gets 3 Ravagers with that one. Overcharge goes down, and
Solar's gonna lose his fight.
Dude, this is crazy. And Solar has 40 drones, man. This is not a nice situation for him. This is weird because when he got those lings in and saw literally exactly what was going on,
that's when he should have been able to take the game.
On time. Yeah. And then he took a lot of damage from the amount of adepts there were.
Colossus is out now with this. I think we're gonna have a counter push here. Yeah, this is just not enough roaches to take on these fights.
Yeah. Solar's gonna be kicking himself about this game.
What is going on with these lings here?
Oh, he's like hopping around in his seat.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is one, like, Solar knows he's really misplayed this.
Yeah. Okay, that was
very poor. I don't know why you dropped that right there in the middle of that. Seems like you want to go onto the low ground and try to hit from there.
Well, we got to keep it in the theme of the game.
Yeah,
which is
completely
mistakes.
Chaotic and confusing. Colossus going back now. What is happening to these two guys? Why is Colossus going back? What am I watching?
They both have brain parasites right now. You know those ones that make the ants climb to the top of the leaf and like look at the sun before it dies? That's the one they got, man.
It's the one that makes you drop your disruptor on top of the lings. Oh! Chunks out even more roaches. This is over, man. SOS takes this. Kind of a shocking game. GG.
Yeah, it was a weird
Solar loses game 1.
I don't think the other games are going to look like that. I don't think any more games in Code S are going to look like that.
I don't think we're ever going to have a game like that again. But, you know, SOS, I think a little bit better than an uncomfortable spot.
That's two guys trying their hardest in an open qualifier is what that game was.
Yeah, that was...
Where it's like, oh, you're both pretty good, but, like, neither of you are making the GSL.
You probably won't make it, but I understand you wanted to try to compete in this. It was a dream of yours.
But that was... Yeah, that was just strange overall, that game. But okay, like SOS, he comes back. I mean, losing like 5 probes and having your entire build scouted and like your wall screwed up and everything slowed down and then still winning.
2,000
atmospheres for poor Solar, man.
Yeah, 2,000 atmospheres for game 2. SOS versus Solar continues on. SOS with a 1-0 lead.
GSL Season 3. Codex. Team Envy, SOS. Kaizi Gaming, Solar.
Now, I do want to mention one more thing about that last game. The problem with SOS that game, for the most part, was that his wall was off. Because if you remember his opening was actually quite beautiful. He blocked the hatch. He got in with the Adept to kill the first creep tumor. Then he brought 2 Adepts in, killed a couple drones, only losing 1 Adept. Like, he had a very smooth opener. He had a very good idea of what he wanted to do in the game. But yeah. Anyways, on to our next map, 2,000 Atmospheres.
We will
Blocks
not...
the hatch once again.
Yeah, same idea. And we definitely won't have a weird wall in like that last one.
Oh, no, he's played plenty of 2,000 Atmospheres. I mean, the maps that are on the ladder are like... Yeah, anything, GSL underscore anything is just generally not on the ladder, so...
Right.
It's going to be the map that you play the least almost always.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, you know, normally when we go to game 2 in a best of 3, I bring up game 1 to kind of, you know, use that as a starting point for how the games with these two players look, but I don't feel like I could do that here because that was such a weird game with so many errors on both sides. Yeah. Although I do feel like seeing a game like that, I really do think Dream is still the favorite to move on after losing to Maru.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
I think so.
Okay. Honestly, I do think SOS is still going to get out of the group. Like that last game, it was a bad wall, but he still won against Dream. It felt like he was messing up a little bit, but he was getting himself into winning spots.
Yeah.
And so I think, you know, just some space in between then and the next time they play, like he's going to be able to fix that up. But I mean, he has to finish Solar off first here. See if Solar can kind of get his feet under him and take this game.
So we've got the Stargate this time around. It is proxied, so we'll be having an Oracle come out here, and basically, you know, because it's closer to the Zerg, the Oracle can get in a little bit quicker by a few more seconds, which if the Zerg hasn't, you know, timed out to stop not just an Oracle attack, but one that's proxied, you get extra drone kills. But again, like we've mentioned before in this show specifically, like the proxied Stargate is probably the lowest tier of kind of crazy aggro plays.
What are those
I'm
probes
sorry.
doing?
I don't know. It's like the two probes are wrestling over in the third base.
Oh, he's hiding two probes. So when
What?
Solar comes in, there's missing probes.
What? That is sick.
I think that's what's happening.
To maybe make
he
it
moved
look
the
like
probes several times, and there's so few probes at the natural that it looks really funny, doesn't it? You look at that natural, you know there's probes missing. It's easy to count workers in this game.
Yeah, this must be something that is so advanced. I
mean, that's my best
that
guess.
all the
but
Zergs are talking about, you count this number of probes, and then you know this is coming. I don't know. You're right though with the fact that he didn't accidentally misclick those probes. Like they're there.
They came back now. So, and the thing is, he clicked them around and moved them a couple times.
Well, now we need him to win today so we can find out in the interview what was going on.
Yeah, no, I hope that gets talked about. So he got 6 drones, which is pretty significant. Oh, it's not over, okay.
Yeah, tries to go for 8, but 7's going to suffice as well.
Spores are pretty much up. Has Queen's there at the 3rd. Twilight is on the way.
So I wonder if that's a setup so that you don't think it's going to be Proxy Stargate, instead thinking maybe it's going to be something else. Like there's going to be a gateway explosion in a depth with Glaze coming, you know.
Maybe.
So you're not going to get the anti-air as quickly. Maybe, I don't know. 10 drones are killed though. That's enough drones to me that this is going pretty well here for SOS.
For sure. And he's doing a glaive follow-up.
Okay.
Look at his wall. It's a very careful wall this time.
Yeah, that's
definitely nothing's getting through there. A 3rd Nexus is coming, as is the glaives. Oh no. Oh.
Yeah, this is becoming too much for the Zerg. You expect to have a few drones killed off here or there, but honestly,
5 more?
That's too much.
5 more? Oh man.
Well, get ready for even more than that. No, he cancels
Solar
it.
He's just not on his game right now. Game 1 against Maru, he looked so nice and so strong,
you know,
and calm and cool and composed. I feel like there's like a mental issue for Solar in GSL around a 16-ish area because everyone knows that he's better than what his results are. Like how rare it is for him to get round of 8 is shocking. And like when you see his good games, you're like, damn man, that's a round of 8 guy right there.
Yeah, it's I think you're totally right, Artosis. This is kind of weird to see him underperforming this much. Now, this is a proper wall, so those lings are not going to get in. He can attack this Nexus or the battery or whatever he wants, but...
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, and it actually does work. It pulls the adepts back.
Doesn't want to lose that base. Battery going down is really, really annoying.
Yeah, well, it makes these adepts much weaker. Oh, misclick there. Could have killed that last adept.
Yeah, basically just an Adept army right now. And there are a lot of roaches being made. Disruptor tech on the way. So kind of similar to the last game, but really he hasn't, like, his oracles did good damage, and he did a little bit of damage with the initial Adepts, but since he got glaives, he hasn't really done much.
Now, the thing about Adept builds really is, like, you need to do a certain amount of damage or end the game, right? You can transition out, but the thing is we've seen so many workers killed, but those Lings really did their job. You know, he did force the Adepts back. He did want to keep that third base alive. Let's see how much he commits with this.
These Adepts are not going to scale well against this army, but you know, they can do things like tank a bit, deal with Lings for those disruptors that are coming out, but he cancels that Shade. He's diving pretty darn deep. Kills off a Queen. See how much he can get done.
Yeah,
not
Shades away, worst. Only 2 workers killed. I think we're going to have a War Prism soon along with these Disruptors, and that should be where the push could be pretty difficult. You know, Roaches and Ravagers basically can't escape from the Disruptor shot. And that's where it gets pretty tough to deal with.
Throw a bunch of gates down here at that third base. Should provide a little bit of a buffer for an incoming attack.
Nice, one-shotting down those Ravagers. Okay, so here come the Oracles in again.
Yeah, they're getting pretty low.
Yeah. I think
he's having a hard time with those still doing damage.
This isn't the first time this has happened.
Okay,
he does get away.
Oh,
hey,
man.
Really nice. Looked like those Oracles had basically served their purpose and probably wouldn't be doing much. Then they managed to get a couple more drone kills. Nicely done. The 4 more gateways are finishing, so we're really into that 3-base gateway explosion. Protoss taking a 4th. I don't see any signs that SOS wants to end the game right away. It seems like he's going to continue to try to develop.
Yeah. Well, Blink coming up with that 4th, like you said. The Prism coming out, so maybe we'll see him try to get something done. Walking out with his Disruptors. I mean, as long as you don't dive deep on creep, you can, you know, with some force fields, the Disruptors, the Adepts to kind of keep Lings from destroying you. I feel like this is definitely a decent army to come up and poke with some.
Okay, here we go. Oh, nicely done. Takes out 2 Ravagers. He has the force fields ready. He hasn't sent them out yet, and these are great shots with the Disruptors. He's getting real value with that. Yeah, that's the thing you got to keep in mind here with Disruptors, is that you can basically, as long as the Disruptor doesn't die and keeps connecting with targets, you're getting way more value. You're not trading in with fights.
And its supply efficiency is massive if you hit anything. All right, so a lot of Stalkers are out. If you just continue to make Stalkers at this pace, you've got to keep that pressure on. So he is moving forward. A lot of Banelings being made. Baneling speed almost done here.
Oh my God, that's such a good hit. Oh. That might have weakened up the Zerg too much.
Yeah.
We see some more Banes coming. Now, this counterattack is pretty scary, but I think Protoss is going to be more willing to give up a base.
Well, he has the overcharge there, so actually
never
he was
mind.
just fine with that many Stalkers.
These force fields are going to dissipate. Oh my God. And now this base is really under threat here.
Throws out some force fields, but some of the Banes rolling by right now.
My
the
God,
flank of Roaches comes up.
Yeah, and suddenly the Roaches are just surrounded here. No Guardian Shield used yet. He does have some energy with that last sentry. It's going to use that for force fields instead. He can still squeeze through here. A lot more is coming. I think we may be seeing the beginning of the end here. It just seems like there is too much. Whoa, but a misclick stepping into that.
Nice hit on that Disruptor. Are going to continue to attack into this hatchery. He's got so much. Like, Solar's economy is good right now, but his unit count is very, very small.
Right.
Is it possible for him to hold on here? Like, even if he trades a little bit inefficiently with the Banes, if he can just force SOS back for a minute?
This is the problem, is he's morphing Banes right there, so the Disruptor shots can just target that. And, I mean, that's a huge loss.
And look at this. He's actually throwing down so many stasis wards here that you can't, like, if he does a full retreat, anything chasing him actually just gets frozen.
Yeah, SOS playing a beautiful game so far.
He is.
Oh!
All right, Baneling's starting to get in on top of things, but are they going to get kills? Oh,
no.
The stasis ward saves stuff.
2 Adepts coming down here to start to pick off workers. The pressure continues to build up here as the supply is dwindling right now for Solar. I think this game is over.
Yeah, it does look that way. And GG.
Wow, okay, SOS wins. Let's see if your boy SOS can take out Dream in the final match.
Yeah, we're going to have that rematch coming up here. And, well, Solar, game 1 against Maru, he looked great. And from there, it was a bit downhill, unfortunately. Still just not having the GSL success that he wants.
Yeah. Well, you know, I feel for Solar, but, you know, SOS definitely outplayed him.
Yeah,
Played much better.
For sure.
Not that slow SOS style we've seen in the past, but, you know, SOS can kind of do anything. Kind of do everything.
For sure.
We've got a break, guys. When we come back, the final match, SOS versus Dream. We'll see you soon.